Hello, my crafty friends. Hannah and I are filling, there she is. We're filling palettes today, and we're using basically the same paints. I think we got a few that are different, but mostly they're basically the same. And we've got a mixture of my paints and her paints, and we're going to fill our palettes, and I'm going to use some of hers, and she's going to use some of mine. We're going to use some American Journey paints that are really old. We're not sure how old, probably 20 years.
Yeah, but these are all the ones that still come out of the tube.
But these are, they still work, but we may have to mix a few of them up if they've separated some. So we've got toothpicks. We're using some Daniel Smith, and we're using we're putting a white gouache in with it because we don't like, if we want white, we want it to be white. And so we're not going to use a white watercolor. We're going to use a white gouache. And this one's M. Graham. It was the best deal I saw, 2 ounces for $10. So
My
on
paint
Amazon,
does tend to go
cheaper because it doesn't have a lot of pigment. Yeah.
also
Anyway,
because you use more of it.
anyway, that's that one. Do we have anything else, or is it just
No,
those
I
three?
have a Grauenbacher Payne's Gray, but um, I decided to just use this one instead.
Okay, and I did too. The
Yeah,
Grombacher is the one you gave me that I used in my other little palette.
yes, it's slightly bluer, but I
Okay.
can't remember if um, but I decided that this one would be more versatile for metal,
Okay.
because it's not as blue. I like the color itself better in the Grauenbacher because the blueness, but if I'm painting like swords or light bulbs or who knows what, then I want to
Okay.
sun grayer.
Now Hannah and I both set up how we're going to do our palette. She did hers down here. She'll do her swatch card later. Um, and we did that independently of each other, and then kind of looked at them. And she said mine's kind of backwards from hers, but other than that, they're pretty similar. So um, I guess we think similar. Anyway, we're going to start just by filling up the wells, and then we said we were going to let it dry overnight and or a couple of days or whatever it takes, and then come back and do the swatching later. And I'm assuming that's still the plan, but sometimes plans change. So, but that's the plan we have at the moment. Okay, so let's go.
I will start on this side.
Okay, I'm just going to start right here.
Be careful when you're opening them; they tend to explode.
Okay,
Just
is
so you
that
know.
a good amount?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is how much I put out for my project.
Okay.
It's barely shrunk.
All right.
It pretty much look like that.
So I'm starting with titanium white, and then I'm leaving this well because I didn't have 18 colors. I only had 17. So I'm leaving this one because white's hard to keep white, and I decided that was, if I was going to leave something alone, that's where I was going to leave a space. Oh, well, that didn't work out good. Don't open your paints over your palette. You get little specks everywhere. Okay, and this is the Payne's Gray.
Mm. It's kind of messy.
If you want to put it in yours,
Yeah, just give me a
okay.
note on there where I put it. How do you think that's enough?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think I'm asking you, and you're asking. Wait, I think I actually need a little more.
Okay.
It's just hard to get.
Now I'm gonna put more green in there for no reason.
Okay, I'll just put this down, and then you can do it when you're ready. Okay, Payne's Gray, and then I have the ones that are in the corner. I have them written in here. So so I'm going to do sap green next. There it is.
Okay. You're using the purling green, right?
Yes.
Okay. Is that next, or are you using Phthalo next?
No, that's next for me.
Okay.
It's okay. I tried to put my most like my reddest red, my most true
Mhm.
color that didn't go either way
Mhm.
in the middle of the other two.
Mhm.
So I put alizarin crimson between scarlet and quin rose,
Mm.
and I put indigo between ultramarine and phthalo blue.
It's a good thing I know this is green because you wouldn't think
No, it looks black. In fact, I tested it when I was looking at it because I was like, that doesn't seem possible to me.
Yeah, it's a very it's like if you're painting evergreen trees or something, that would work for it. Or like really moody pieces.
Okay.
It's a very moody color.
And this is the Paraline green. It looks a lot like the Payne's Gray, doesn't it?
Yeah, but mine are on the other end of the palette. But you'll have your chart.
Okay.
Stop folding these tabs down, though. They make it so harder to squeeze properly. Sorry.
It's all right. I'm just not sure. Okay. Once we've both done them, let's move them over here.
Okay.
You've done the Paraline green, and so have I. Okay.
You up for Thela next?
Yes.
Okay, just let me put a bit more in here.
And I've got my thing running there that's the mirror image of where they are here. So I have to, that makes it pretty easy, I think.
For you. This one's going to be mine.
Okay, where's the lid for this one?
There we go.
Okay.
Careful.
Yeah, that's the phthalo blue.
Yeah, but it's
right.
already exploded a couple times, I think.
Yeah. I'll shut it when you get through because I'm going to be using it too. So, I mean, that's where I am as well.
Yeah, we went backwards from each other, but we started at opposite ends.
Yeah, left-handed, right-handed. I guess that's. Well, actually, I started over here so I wouldn't be in your way, and then you started over there, probably not to be in my way, and so we're going to end up in each other's way over here.
I can turn mine.
It'll be all right.
Okay, and next I have indigo. And indigo is actually right here. This one's gonna be trickier. Thought all the blues were dead except for ultramarine, and then I realized this one was still living.
Still living.
But it's gonna need to be stirred a bit.
Okay.
Thank you.
I think I'm going to do that with this one a little bit too, just to. Did you want to do this? Did you use that one? The one that I used? The Payne's, that's Payne's Gray. Have you used it yet?
No.
Okay. I'll just put this right there then.
I think it's a bit worse on top than it was underneath. Like they tend to be dry at the top of the tube.
You want to just.
I'm still working on it.
Okay. I didn't know if you wanted to take that. It looked almost like there was a crusty piece, and I thought you could just take that out, but it wasn't really, huh? Here, use your thing and just wipe it off. Yeah, okay.
So this one's going to be a bit delicate because it's not cooperating. Though yours may be doing better than mine.
Yeah, I think you got it down to the good place, so I can use it easily. When you get through with that, I'll go ahead and stir it up a little bit, though, just to be. Well, it doesn't want to. There we go.
Yeah, those are kind of moody. Yeah. Then it's ultramarine. This one's actually pretty cooperative from what I remember. But yeah, it's funny. Of the American Journey paints I got gifted to me, the blues were the most dried out. You know?
I wonder if that's the nature of blue or.
Yeah.
I was trying to take off that crispy piece and.
You can tell this one's really thick. And it comes out like icing.
That's French ultramarine. I look on the camera and they just all look black.
Yeah, mine too. We're getting to the red soonish.
They really are a little bit different. They really are, but you really cannot see it on the camera. That is so weird. Okay.
Okay. Here's my ultramarine.
Oh, that's ultramarine. What I'm wanting is the purple I've got in here is one of the American Journeys of Hannah's. It's permanent magenta, and we're gonna use it as our violet or our purple. Yeah,
it's the only one we have.
It's a very red purple. Don't you think?
Well, it comes out purpler on the palette. I just call it a happy purple.
It's a happy purple. Okay.
It's not like really deep and dark. If you want to darken it, you add just some ultramarine to it.
Are you about to that or?
Yeah, that's next. So
okay.
I'm just trying to tame this for a bit.
Well, that's fine. And then Quinn Rose. And after Quinn Rose comes Alizarin Crimson.
Oh, you can tell the violet's different.
Sort of, yeah.
What am I next? I have Alizarin Crimson next, actually.
Oh, there it is.
Yep. Have you poured it yet?
No, that's what I was fixing to do.
Oh, do you want it?
Well, I
don't know why you're going faster than me, though.
I was trying to open it. That's my problem. I think you need to do it because it'll make my... Here, hold on to it with that. Oh, okay. So you just go first. It's fine.
See, I know that these tend to jump out a bit.
You're holding it out here.
Well, they do. So
okay.
That's more of a problem with... I want that got in my coffee grade.
Well, I guess you won't be drinking that, will you?
Nope. Just tell me what you're used toothpicks. I'll use the other end.
Okay, this one's for Payne's Gray when you get there.
Okay. It's really a good red. It's just...
Okay.
I guess all these paints are a bit old and moody and didn't think they'd have to do this again. You know?
But they still paint really pretty when you use them, so.
Oh yeah, that doesn't get really old, you know. It's just the...
I'll use that when you're through with it.
Okay. And then I do Quinn Rose. So she's got the Daniel Smith Quinn Rose, and I'm using the American Journey Quinn Rose. There are a couple of colors where we're basically doing the same thing, but we have it in different brands, because she got a Daniel Smith mixing set.
Yeah.
They came with Quinn Rose, so. Well, this one's being somewhat more cooperative. And it's still been A/B stirred. I think I'll need more toothpicks, but I can at least...
I'm just going to leave that one open for you.
Down in there. Yes, thank you. See, that's a very orange red.
Yeah.
See?
Okay, Pearl Scarlet and then Hansa Yellow Light. This is one where Hannah's going to use Cadmium Yellow Medium. And I'm using Hansa Yellow Light because that's what came in my little set. That's what came in her set. So I think her light yellow is going to be a lot darker than mine.
Yeah, it's not terribly lemony. But when compared, my warm yellow is raw sienna.
So it's quite a bit darker than mine. Yeah.
But like compared to each other, it still makes sense.
Okay.
That got way too full.
And then my warm yellow is New Gamboge. I just love that name, New Gamboge.
Sounds like a city in Europe. Probably is a city in Europe.
Maybe.
Now I get to put in Imperial Scarlet, which is behaving a lot nicer than my old paints. It's like kind to me or something.
Okay. And
You can
then
tell I started with a cooperative paint and got progressively less cooperative.
then Quinn Gold, which is one we just ordered, and it's woo, it's trying to
See,
come
they
out.
explode.
Yeah,
Okay, what's next for me? I have Quinn Gold too.
there you go. And then burnt sienna. Mm,
Do you need me to get that? That one kind of runs, remember.
I know, and it's making me squeeze to
I'll get
open it, which worries me.
See, the trick is you need to grab it here and turn them so that you aren't squeezing it, you're twisting it. It works sometimes. And sometimes it really doesn't. Is that paint or blood? Okay. Don't worry. Give me a pip towel. The real problem is the cap shreds your hands.
Yeah.
I'm not there yet, so just
Okay.
take it. But you're going to need to stir it, so I'll get you a toothpick.
All right.
You might even need one. That's part of why yours ran so bad when you went to swatch. Probably. And then I have cadmium yellow. Ugh. Please be nice. Please play nice. Please play nice. Oh, Ironberry, you're pretty nice.
I'm just gonna set that one right down beside that.
Side stuff out.
And then the next one is sepia.
It probably would make more sense to put the cadmium yellow here and that here, but for some reason I remembered this being pretty orange on the paper.
Yeah.
And I didn't want raw sienna to not be next to burnt sienna for no particular reason.
Because they're both siennas, there must be twins.
It just seemed right. So yeah, let me make sure I'm lining up with the
I
chart.
think I need to add some more Payne's Gray because I think I put more of everything else. And I really like Payne's Gray, so. Where is it? Oh, right here. Good grief. I was scared at that point.
Yes, we've grown with more experience. Yeah, this darker yellow is really closer to a yellow ochre in appearance, you know?
Okay.
But that's what I have. I'll see when it goes right there. Okay. But it looks like this tube does not contain paint, but battery acid. Just look at that.
You're right.
So I'm probably going to stir that up just to see if I can make it lie a bit flatter.
Okay. You could use the other end of the burnt sienna toothpick if you want to.
That was the plan, except I used it to pick some caked yellow out of the Quinn Gold, so this is one of those tubes that doesn't want to shut at all.
I'm glad I left space between the white and that Payne's Gray because
the real moral of the story is to remember to close all your tubes really well before you stick them in the attic or something.
Yeah. Or up in a closet. It's probably.
Yeah, I don't know if they have an attic. Why do I keep putting so much in there? I don't mean to. It just happens.
Because you like it. You want to be sure you have enough.
Well, I actually do use this one quite a bit. Though I have heard some people put that yellow in the dot down here because it gets mixed with everything too. So you can get a clean wash of your really pale yellow and you can have your mixing pale yellow.
That's something to think about.
Yeah. You can see what I have to excavate out of there so I can get to the stuff that actually works.
Yeah.
Now what's next, burnt sienna? Okay. Oh, it's being slightly more cooperative than
I think we used it down to a part where it's working pretty good.
Though I do remember when I filled the palette with Academy paints. Well, it was certainly why I had burnt sienna, and that it was the most difficult. I think it was the slipperiest there too. And we can have nice little dams. Quite good.
Well, you're going from the side, and I squished from the in front of it
Yeah.
straight at it, and I think that makes a difference because this is the one I didn't do that way.
And then sepia. Okay. Have you put sepia in? Yes, you're done, actually.
I'm done. Oh, I'm sorry.
She's always been more efficient than I am.
I'm just not playing with them all.
My fault. They're being unruly.
Okay. Well, I played with a few of them, but so here's what my palette looks like.
Now you can see variations that we got the yellows in there.
Yeah, you just can't see much variation in the blues and greens, but that's okay.
Wonder if that's something to do with how the camera processes light.
It probably does. But every time I try to make the light or the colors show up better, it doesn't
Like
work.
technically pigments.
Because
are
these colors look really good.
I know, but they're just like pigments are technically a substance that makes whatever it's put on reflect everything, like absorb everything but one color of light, you know? Because that's how we actually perceive color, as weird as it might seem to us.
Okay. Well,
Okay,
these are just
what's
absorbing
next?
everything or nothing or something.
Paint grease.
And here's the little stirrer, which you will definitely need.
Yeah, I got it. Neither of these has been as unruly as indigo, though. That one was a real nightmare.
Yeah. Of course, I did Payne's Gray first, and then I did the first of it.
Mm-hmm.
And you did indigo first before I did, I think. And so I think whatever, the first part that's in there is going to be harder to do.
Yeah.
Now you're flattening yours out.
That's so I can get a cleaner wash off the top of them. It won't really matter once they're hard.
Yeah.
I'm just doing it because sloping wells are made for that also, you know?
Okay, well, my thought was this would give me some space to put.
Yeah, I know, but I keep putting too much paint in there.
Okay.
That's the real problem. Now
Well,
it's time for the gouache.
What I was sitting here thinking, though, is yours will probably dry faster than mine because they're flatter and they're not as piled.
So I maybe need to go back and put some more greens because everything else got... No, I'll just leave it.
You can always add them in later.
It's got the cleanest stuff in it, but it's probably going to end up being the dirtiest tube. What I've been holding on to.
Here. Your hands are a little bit messy.
I'll get some wipes. Where did you say the other packages were?
Right down there.
Oh, down there.
Yeah, way down.
They're
back
really
there.
down.
They're really down there. Okay.
It's a good thing I'm here. I don't think you could reach these right now.
I probably couldn't. I'm going to pause the video and we'll come back when we've got, when we make swatches. Hello, my crafty friends. Hannah and I are fixing to, I forgot this is the second part. It's been a couple of days. And I forgot this is part of a video that's already started. So, hello again, even though it's only been a second for you. Hannah is drawing her
Swatching grid.
Yeah, she's redrawing and swatching, where she's going to swatch her paints. And,
I guess you could call it a map.
A map? It is kind of a map, yeah. And, well, it does reconstitute.
Yeah.
I was just telling Hannah that I heard someone say that gouache didn't like to be reconstituted, or you were supposed to use it just out of the tube. And it must just be a certain brand, because this one definitely reconstitutes
I
fine.
think gouache can be used dry, but maybe its consistency changes a bit or something. I don't know. I've heard watercolorists say that they have a lot of dry gouache in their palette, but it still works fine. So it's like, maybe that's just like the most optimal setting.
That would make sense.
Like how BMWs are supposed to be run on a certain kind of gas and you kill them on normal bottom run gas.
Anyway,
Mm.
we're going to be swatching, and my swatch goes like this. Hannah's going to actually feel hers in
Then
the
name everything.
inside the do you need that?
I was gonna use it for watering down the paints if I can't get them light enough for my taste.
Okay.
But I might not.
Hannah's gonna swatch. I mean, she's gonna swatch hers inside the palette like that. I'm not going to, because I think it'll be easier for you to see if I do it this way, and it'll be easier for me to work than trying to work down inside that thing. So, one thing to remember is, as I'm doing this, it's the mirror image, so it's going to look like I'm kind of like I'm doing it backwards. My brain at least thought that when I first started to go. Your brains probably didn't do you that way, but I'm going to start with sepia, and I think I'm going to start at the outside and work my way down. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's trying to figure out what will leave the darkest at the outside edge. Okay. Oh, you know what we forgot, Hannah?
What?
Some water, and we need good water. We're going to have to go get... Oh, we're using a water brush, so we can just clean it off on a paper towel. Sorry, I wasn't thinking about that. I may still do it in there first. I don't know. Okay. To continue, sorry. And this is burnt sienna. Uh-oh.
Nice thing about going along with the colors is that I'm moving from a green to another green to a blue to a blue, so I don't have to worry about getting everything totally off of my brush, because it's not like you're moving from green to yellow where you're going to corrupt to the yellow totally if you have some green left on the brush.
Yeah, but don't you
These
think
things
there's...
don't clean off super well.
Don't you think there's something to be said, though, about having a clean brush so that it doesn't adulterate it at all?
Well, what I mean is that these don't clean off the way normal watercolor
Okay.
brushes do. They can stain the bristles, and it can
It's hard to know if you're doing
well, so this is just the map. It's not like we have to be as precise as on a mixing chart about bleeding. We just want to know what's where.
That's true.
Because, like, they can tell because it's not on the video, but all of these look like black, dark, and they're
Yeah.
not wet. Nice thing about using water brushes is that they don't hold as much water as big flats do.
Yeah.
Or mine is. Mine's just much smaller flat than yours. But the swatches are drying quicker. You know?
Right. Well, they can't even see them because you're not in the camera. Sorry. Okay.
Just look at them though.
Yep. That's nice. They're obviously different, which makes them easier to choose which one you want to be as at least your base for something. Oh dear.
What'd you do?
Oh, I did Queen Gold, and then I went straight to Hannah Yellow and skipped Gamboge. So what do you do in that situation?
You just put a little arrow down here showing that they're reversed.
Frustrating, because I had it all planned out so great.
Sorry.
Okay. I'm just gonna, oh, I can't rewrite it.
Because you used a pen. Because you didn't want to smear when it got wet. Because you thought
Okay.
ahead.
So I did what Hannah suggested. I just wrote my a little note in between them saying that they're reversed. It's obvious enough which one is which, so I don't think it's not going to make any difference in my use of them. It's just irritating because I wanted it to be right.
You were being particular.
I was being particular, and evidently that doesn't pay.
Next.
Okay, moving on, moving on. And we did wet these down, but they are dry again. I guess it's soaked in, is what it really is, but this is alizarin crimson. And I should be not quite going to the edge there, but I'm overshot the edge a little bit here.
Oh, that's a pretty magenta. I don't use it very often.
Is that the one that you should call a violet? Even though, yeah,
it's not, but I don't know what I'm doing.
it's the purpley one that we have.
Yeah, besides, all you have to do to make it a violet is mix it with some of the ultramarine, and it darkens real nicely.
Well, that's good to know. I didn't know that, so thank you.
Well, the last sunset I painted,
Yeah,
over Nim with the big flower in front of it,
right.
I actually couldn't get the purple gradient the way I wanted it, so I had to mix a darker purple. Because just bleeding, it's that weird paper, the one we call Ted, so it bleeds really funny.
Yeah.
Because it's like rough, not just cold pressed.
This is Quinn Rose.
Oh, we're starting to meet each other.
Yeah.
I've hit Azurian Crimson.
And it's really sad that you can't see how different the colors are in there. They're really quite different.
Yeah. The Azurian Crimson is a wine. Really.
It is. It's kind of a little bit of a burgundy-ish.
That's my favorite color of red, though.
Yeah. I like it to be a deep red, not an orange red.
Though I think Imperial Scarlet's really useful. But it's, it looks really orange, but it's a kind of bloody color, you know? I say that positively. I realize that might not sound that way. But we're definitely going to need to make one of those big triangle charts here.
Yeah, we'll need to do that.
But yeah, I'm glad to have it just because I painted on the big palette. I got this myself. I was given a big palette of the American Journey stuff, and it doesn't have a really orange red in it, and you can tell because it's kind of frustrating. You're like, you have pink or wine to choose from, and sometimes that isn't what you need.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, the American Journey paints especially do kind of eat water.
This indigo is a lot blacker than I expected it to be.
Yeah, but it's useful if you're trying to get something like sunsets again.
Yeah.
It's a good color for that. Though you might end up...
I'm going to end up changing that out for something else later. It almost looks like a Payne's Gray to me.
Yeah, but this gray is grayer than the other gray you've used.
Okay.
Remember, you have some from the Groundblocker tube on your other palette,
Right.
and it's very blue.
Yeah, that's true. It is. Okay.
Trying to get a gradient here for some particular reason.
Well, that's kind of what I would like to have too, but
Well, I'm wiping the brush off halfway through.
I want to
To
show
try-
y'all how dark that indigo is. It's very, very dark. And indigo is a dark blue, but I was just expected to be rich, not necessarily dark. Does that make any sense at all?
Yeah, I don't know. It's also hard to gauge what these paints were like when they were new.
That's true.
Like, I don't know if they get less rich or not. We haven't done this long enough to know how watercolor paint behaves
Yeah.
over time.
Well, it's a rich color. It's just darker than I expected.
And also, lots of the people we watch, they're like, I've collected these over 5, 7 years maybe
Yeah.
of doing watercolor, and these are probably 15 years old. So, though there are people who inherited watercolors from parents and grandparents and stuff who use them, so it probably doesn't change the performance a lot. I like the indigo, but I think it's richer right down here, where it's really dark,
Yeah.
but it dries bluer, I think.
That is phthalo blue, which is very
The
bright.
best.
The best, Hannah says. The most stainy. Excuse me. This is phthalo green.
Equally blue and bright.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not blue, but it's very blue-green.
it's a very blue green, which is why I put it next to the phthalo blue, because
And they
I
show
mean-
the name.
yeah, when they both say phthalo, I mean it just somehow makes sense.
Don't
I don't know.
I don't know what those names mean, because you can hear phthalo come up on other colors, like
Yeah.
magentas and roses and things, I
Yeah.
think.
I don't know. Maybe you need to research that.
Yeah. See, this is the way I'm making it. I'm just like going, I'm done doing it.
Yeah.
And I finally get to try this stuff. I haven't even painted with this yet.
Is that the Queen Gold?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I'm excited to have that one. I'm also a little bit surprised how much it's just like a barely darker than the new Gamboge.
But it's browner.
Yeah, it is. Anyway, I'm happy we got it.
So am I, but I don't say no to new toys.
And this is Paraline green, which is a very dark green.
It's like the indigo of green.
It's indigo of greens, that's right.
I got this way.
Except well, now you're right. Now that indigo is dried more, it definitely looks bluer.
Yeah.
I'm happier with it now. Okay,
It's hard to tell what watercolors are until they've dried.
that's true.
They're not like acrylics. Acrylics are dependable that way. They kind of look the same when you put them down the first time. It's 3 years later.
Yeah. Okay, and next is sap green.
I am just knocking that Queen Gold as dark as I want it. There we go. Trying to get it really dark, but you know me, I also make lots of really light washes.
Yeah.
There we go. That's what I was going for, hopefully. Wow. The Pure Scarlet even dries pinker next to a pink.
Yeah, it does make a difference what it's next to. Which, I don't know, maybe we should have put them next to their complementary colors instead of their neighbor.
No, I think that would just break our brains.
It probably would. It probably
Especially,
would.
it wouldn't be a very aesthetically pleasing palette because red and green are complementary colors, but unlike others, they're very violent together.
That's true.
I saw this whole essay about this painting Van Gogh did, which is the most trippy painting I think he ever did. And it's trippy because it's almost not trippy. It's not like a big landscape with all the swirliness, you know? like you think of Van Gogh.
Yeah.
It's like a pool hole, except something is so off about the perspective, and the red and green that makes up the walls isn't balanced together. See, it's very gray.
Yeah.
Isn't balanced together. It's like red walls with a band of green up here on the. It is the weirdest thing. It's just like I said, it's a very trippy painting, but yeah. I think I want to get more lemony yellow eventually. Mine is
I'm trying to find a spot where I can clean this brush good enough to go into the white. Should have done the white first.
yeah. Then again, it's
Okay.
just white, so hopefully we know what that looks like.
But yeah, but I like to still have it on
See,
here.
Mine's a lot less lemony than yours. I need to acquire one of those soon.
Yeah. I like that color better though,
Yeah,
personally.
yeah, but this is good for light. That's what it's for.
Okay.
You use it, or that's what it's for in my head, because that's the first thing I used it for. But you use it for making light gradients. Like I said, sunsets. I painted a couple of those recently. If you're wondering why that's on the brain. But it's really good for doing light because you paint it around the light source first, as you go into darker washes, and it makes it look like it's glowing. And other things. And this has never gotten light enough to really do that. Or if we're working on green background, blue or green backgrounds,
Yeah.
it's really obvious, as opposed to say that would be. That book we got on Hidden, the Fantasy Realms book, that's how she tells you to paint light sources. And that's the first thing I ever used it for. So it's a really useful color for that one particular thing.
Okay.
Even if it isn't your favorite yellow. See, like I said, this one's yellow.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna put those in there. Yay!
And now I'll have a much wider range with that in there. I think I will. They actually look a lot alike. So who knows? Actually, I think this one's yellower than that one. I can't tell. I don't care. Okay, and then I'm going into Brinksy in the next.
So you're putting it almost pure right at the top and then washing it down.
That is the attempt.
All right. No wonder mine was faster because I just went. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, but you know me, I'm very particular.
You are, and that's okay. That's probably why you're a better watercolorist than me.
And I lock myself in the studio for 4 days.
Oh,
So
that would
just
do
do
it
that.
too.
It helps.
Anyway, there's what my palette looks like. And I'm pleased enough with it except for this little snafu right here.
Mm.
But anyway,
This will be fun to glue on top of something else.
it would be. It's pretty.
I've made others that way painting where I was like, I bet Mom would really like to glue this on top of something. You know, like when I did the ship in the bottle painting.
Yeah.
That had a really pretty towel after it.
Oh, you're mixing.
It'll be fine.
Okay. She's particular, but she's not particular.
Yeah, that pretty much describes me. And then we have gray. Yeah, it's almost a purplier gray than the indigo.
It's pretty. It's not. It's definitely grayer than the indigo. Definitely looks bluer when you see this, but
Yeah, but it's a browner gray than Grombacher's paints gray.
which is the bluer one?
Yeah, but I've done 3 monochromatic paintings of the exact same scene in that paints gray. So I've seen most of its color range,
Yeah.
and it's very blue.
Yeah.
Like, if I put that one on palette, I would put it in with the blues, not the earth tones. Because it is blue, basically.
Right.
Okay, that's all my colors, and then
You want to use my brush since it's cleaned pretty good for the white?
Mm.
And you don't have to graduate the white. It just needs to be a token effort of putting it on there because it really doesn't show up at all.
Well, it does show up some, but
it's really barely shows.
yeah, it shows up better after a couple of washes. I did the flower and gouache. That I had to go over it 3 times to get it to show up. That, and this isn't, it's opaque compared to watercolor, but that doesn't make gouache acrylic.
That's true.
You know? Like, it's like, it goes watercolor, gouache, and then acrylic and oil are, I guess, on the same level. They just behave differently.
Yeah.
You know? Because, so yeah. I'm going to name my paints after they've dried.
That's probably wise.
Lazy, or I'd done this once before and I got it totally backwards. Like, I had it facing it this way when I did it, so I have to turn it around. So in my other palette, it's completely opposite. So instead of planning, I decided to see if I could do something to most ensure that I wouldn't have to flip it around when I painted it. Because, like, I had it out. And I see how many things I can knock over doing this.
Just do it right. Oh, because that's wetter? Is that why you didn't want to do it over there?
So I had it out and I painted it like this.
Ah.
Yeah. Yeah. That did not work.
Well, this one's going to work. One of the cool things about this palette is the mixing tray is clear.
And it stays put.
And it doesn't fall out.
You have a big one.
Get that one and let me show them the
it
difference.
It always comes out.
And this is the same brand.
Well, it's the same brand as my smaller one.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, so in this one,
see,
I like this palette if you have a bunch of colors. And the what are the name of those paints that?
These are the Shinhai Professional. Shinhan.
Okay.
Don't ask me to pronounce things.
And this palette it needs to be cleaned out, and
that one's pretty.
Some of them need to be started over because I kind of mixed them right in here. But anyway,
and you didn't put much in the wells.
You can't see. No, I didn't, because I was just seeing how I liked them, kind of. You can mix here, great, but you can't see, where everything is if you do that. So, definitely like this better.
Yeah, and I like having the wells right here for mixing too.
Yeah.
I mix a lot.
Yeah, that's the advantage of having fewer one of the advantages of having fewer colors is that you have space like that. The other advantage is that it kind of forces you to mix your own some, which is good. Yeah.
Yeah, but I also it may be the fact that I got a palette with a lot of dirt already on it, but I'm just like, can I mix it to make it better sometimes, you know?
And that's a good way to think. All right. Well, we're going to let y'all go. This has been a way longer video than I intended for it to be. God bless you. Bye-bye.